Greetings YouTube, and welcome to the second edition of Cooking with Blasphemy. The cooking show where our cookbooks are the holy books. Today we're going to be making Vindaloo. This sinfully delicious and sinfully simple dish consists of 3 main ingredients. You're going to want 2 cups of diced tomatoes, 2 cups of diced onion, and 2 cups of some diced dead animal. So, in case you've never diced an onion, here's how it's done. Quite simple. Cut off one end, cut off the other, split it in the middle, take off the skin. Being stubborn. Okay, now cut it in half. I'll make 3 lateral slices at 90 degrees and dice it up. Onions are nice because they're like self-dicing. So there's our 2 cups of onions. You end up getting a little more, that's just fine. Onions. Now typically you'll be cooking these while you're dicing these if you want to save some time. But this is a show and not real life, so I'm doing it all ahead of time. Nasty bits out of our tomato. Go about the same way. Doesn't matter if these chunks are really big because they're all going to be getting reduced into the sauce. Tomatoes. So now we're going to need a hot pan, so go ahead and heat it up. And to that pan we're going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. This stuff has the consistency of, I don't know, plasticine or maybe paraffin wax, but it's darn tasty and it's good for you. Alright, so the pan's nice and hot now. So I'm going to insert the 2 tablespoons of coconut oil. Get that to melt up. Coconutty. And to that oil, we are going to add some spices to roast them. This is Indian style of cooking. But here we've got some bay leaves, about 15 of them. We've got a tablespoon of ground cumin. We've got a tablespoon of cardamom seeds. I have a 4-star anise right here. They got a nice licoricey taste. We've got a tablespoon of peppercorns. We've got a teaspoon of ground cloves. We've got a tablespoon of cinnamon, a tablespoon of fenugreek seeds, and finally a tablespoon of ginger. And those are all going to get tossed right into this hot oil. You don't need to roast for very long. This just brings out their flavor. Nice roasty Indian type flavor. And now we add the onions. This is the most time consuming part of this, because you can't walk away from this or your onions will get blackened. You want a nice caramelization over the entire onion so they're nice and brown. That'll probably take about 15 to 20 minutes. This is typically when I'll start chopping up my tomatoes. If you do them all at the same time, you can get this dish done in about 1 hour. Or 45 minutes if you're good. So I'm just going to skip on ahead to the point where these become caramelized, and then be ready for the next ingredient, and perhaps some Blasphemy. So now you can see the onions are at the point where they're transparent. That's not enough by any means, they gotta be brown. Caramelly, nice and sweet. A little bit longer. Okay, so aside from the odd little piece of onion, this is mostly caramelized now. They're nice and transparent and brown, and we're ready to move on to the next step. So what I'm going to do is take this onion out of the pan and get it hot in preparation for the meat. We're just going to throw into some hot oil just to sear it. So here's our nice caramelized onion mixture we've removed from the pan. Some people like to take this opportunity to remove the cardamom seeds and the bay leaves and even the peppercorns, but I like to leave them in to give the flavor some time to mingle. So next we've got our meat, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is our first opportunity to blaspheme. Since this is an Indian dish, where Hinduism is prevalent and cows are considered sacred, well, that's exactly what we're going to use as our first meaty ingredient, some nice sacred beef. I've got some stewing meat here, and I just want to break up the monstrous chunks. We still want some chunks, but we want them to be kind of bite-sized. Big bite-sized. There. That'll get tossed in the pot shortly. But that's hardly sinful enough. How do we alienate the rest of the world's religions? Well, pork! Not touched by Hindus, Muslims, Jews, or Christians if you technically read the Bible. So, cut that into some nice big chunks. Now we'll add our dead animals to the wok. Alright, so we've got our hot pan here. And to that we're just going to add a little bit more oil. It's about a tablespoon coconut oil. As I said, this stuff's good for you. Saturated fat, but it's got some nice properties. Alright, that's all melted, so we're now ready to throw our dead animals in the pot. Here's Piggy and Cow. That's delicious. And we just want to sear in the goodness here. Oh, what's that? You thought we added the spice already? No, not really. Still more. Got these nice Thai chili peppers here. I'm just going to crush those up. These are about 50,000 Scoville heat units. Very tasty. Here we've got 1.5 tablespoons of paprika. We've got 1.5 tablespoons of chili powder. We've got 1.5 tablespoons of, what do you call that? Cayenne pepper, that's it. And here we've got some masala. That's a nice curry. That's all going to go in there once I grind up the peppers, that is. There, now our nice Thai chilies are all chopped up, so into the pot with this nastiness. I'm sweating just being near all this spice. Oh yeah. That chili contains some, or not the chili, the curry powder contains some turmeric. That's turning the meat yellow. Okay, now we need some acid. This just gives it a little bit of a sharp flavor and helps cut the flavor of the oil. Now in Muslim countries, they tend to, for their acid, they tend to use lemon juice. But heck, since this is cooking with blasphemy, we're going to use some nice balsamic vinaigrette, which is derived from wine. You can't have this, Muslims. That was about, quarter cup. Now it's ready for the tomatoes. Does that ever smell awesome? Now we can turn down our heat a little bit, and we just want to let this simmer until the tomatoes turn to a nice sauce. And now that we've got some liquid going, we can add some fresh garlic. There's a super heaping tablespoon of minced garlic. There's a little bit of olive oil in there too. So if we put the butter in at the garlic in at the beginning of the recipe, it would have just burned off all the flavor. Now this will be nice and garlicky. And now we can take our onion mixture and put it back in. About maybe another 20 minutes of simmering and this will be ready. There, simply stirring for about 20 minutes and look at that, tomatoes have reduced to a nice saucy goodness. Now it's time to ready. Now we're ready to assemble the final dish. Oh, this smells delicious. Traditionally, a Vindaloo is served with some kind of starchy food. You've got potatoes, which they like in Great Britain. Over in India, they like to serve it with over a bed of basmati rice. It's also excellent with naan, the Indian flatbread. Fantastic. But my preferred method is as follows. My preferred way to serve Vindaloo is over a nice bed of communion wafers. Look at that. Delicious. Oh yeah. Bon appetit. Well, time for the moment of truth. This stuff is truly the food of the gods. It's hot. Jesus fucking Christ. That was amazing. Eat your motherfucking heart out, Vishnu. God, that was good. Despite being stewing beef, it's still nice and tender. Woo! Very hot and very spicy. Wow. Well, anyway, thanks for watching. I really hope you try this out. So as you can see, it's an easy recipe, and wow, it's hot as hell.